everyone, 안녕하세요. Welcome back to Korean Saturday School. This is the New York 초대 한국 문화학교 for 초대교회, and welcome. Today we are at week 6. If you are new, welcome. If you already know or have been watching our videos, welcome back. My name is Sarang Kim or Kim Sarang 선생님, and I am in charge of the 진달래반. So welcome back, guys. I hope you guys all had an amazing week. And let's get started. So today's lesson is 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take? And we can see this lesson in our level 4 yellow book, this book that everyone should have received. It's on page 106 and it is lesson 11. So for those of you that don't have this book, it's okay. I always put a picture of the pages on the screen, or if you check in the description link, I put a link to where you can have access to this workbook online. So you guys can just follow up by clicking there. Okay, so let's turn to page 106 and let's begin. So today's lesson is 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take? So we see a boy and a girl talking to each other in the photo. So let's read along. The girl says, 학교가 멀어요? Is the school far? Boy replies, 아니요, 가까워요. No, it is close. 집에서 학교까지 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take you to get to school from home? 10분쯤 걸려요. It takes about 10 minutes. 걸어서 10분이요? It takes 10 minutes walking? 아니요, 버스로 10분쯤 걸려요. No, it takes 10 minutes by bus. So if you have watched my previous lessons, we learned how to tell time. So we know that 10분 means 10 minutes. We also know forms of transportation. We learned that. So 버스로 and 걸어서. I think we did this last week in last week's lesson. But today's lesson, we're gonna learn how to add all of those things that we learned previously and add them into sentences saying how long it takes you to get from place to place. So we're incorporating both the time lesson, the transportation lesson, and today we're learning different locations. So if you see on the next page, they give you 9 photos of different places. Actually, they give you 8 photos because the last photo isn't a place, it's an action that takes place for a certain situation. So let's go over the different types of locations that are very common and good to learn in Korean. So the first picture, we see a picture of a 식당. 식당. 식당 means restaurant. Now, 식당 can also mean cafeteria because 식당 is generally a place where people eat. So it could be a restaurant or a cafeteria or any area, large area where people, more than one person, comes to eat. And then the next picture on the right of that, we see 영화관. 영화관. The 영화관 is called the movies in English, so like the movie theater. So let's say you say, oh, let's go to the movies. You would say, oh, 영화관 가자, or 영화 보러 가자. Okay? And then the next photo, we see a picture of a bank. Bank is 은행. 은행. And then we have 도서관, which is library, which is this picture over here. 도서관. And then next to that, we have 소방서. 소방서 is the fire station. And then next to that, we have the 우체국. 우체국 is the post office. So where you would send your packages or mails or receive them. Okay, number 7, we have 박물관. 박물관. 박물관 is the museum. And then 정거장. 정거장 is the station. Okay. A more so like train station, like 정거장, and then or subway station. And then number 9, this is not a location, but this is, so 갈아타다 means transfer. So if you transfer from one bus to a different bus or from a bus to a train, you would say 갈아타다. Okay, that means you transferred. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next page. So in the next page, they give you some examples of how to read, I mean, not read, but like how it is said. So how a conversation is said from someone asking you, how long does it take, and you responding, and from where to where. So if you look at the first example, the girl is saying, 얼마나 걸려요? That means how long does it take, okay? 얼마나, how long, 걸려요, does it take? Okay, and then some important words that we're gonna learn here are 좀. So the boy responds with 5분쯤 걸려요. Okay, now the word 좀 right here, it means about. So like it's an estimate. So if I say 5분 걸려요, that means it will take 5 minutes. But if I say 5분쯤 걸려요, it means it will take about 5 minutes. So there's a difference. So usually when someone asks you, oh, how long is it going to take for you to get here? We usually respond with an estimate because we are not exactly sure, okay? So 쯤 is about. So from the house to the bank, it takes 5 minutes. Now it says 5분 right here. 5분 means 5 minutes. So the boy says 5분쯤 걸려요. So you say the time first and then you put 쯤. So because it's about 5 minutes. And then 걸려요 means it'll take me. So it'll take me about 5 minutes. Okay, so for the second example, the question, the girl asks, 식당까지 얼마나 걸려요? Now, remember we learned this last week. If you see here, 에서 means from and 까지 means to. Now, we learned this to tell from where to where for our transportation in our last week's class and the week before that. So see, the same examples are coming up again, so make sure you watch those videos if you haven't. So 식당까지, so to the restaurant, 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take? So how long does it take to the restaurant? Because 까지 means to. And then the boy responds, 30분쯤 걸려요. 30분 is 30 minutes, so it takes about 30 minutes. Okay? And then the last example, the girl asks, 집에서 공원까지 얼마나 걸려요? Now, 에서 and 까지, we see this example here. So 에서, where are we starting from? We're starting from the home because it's 집에서. So from home and then 공원까지. 공원까지 is our final destination. So to the park. So from your house to the park, 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take? How long does it take from your house to the park? And then the boy responds with 자전거로 10분쯤 걸려요. Now we learned this with different forms of transportation. We always say the form of transportation and then 로 at the end because 로 is the word that describes that you're using that transportation. So 자전거로. So with the bike, it takes 10분쯤 걸려요. 10분 is 10 minutes and then 쯤 걸려요, about. So it takes about 10 minutes by bike. Okay? So there are different forms of sentences used here. The first example just incorporates how long it's going to take. Second example, the question is a little different. It's 식당까지, so to the restaurant. And then the last question is different because it says it gives you a form of transportation. So you have to incorporate that. And then the form of transportation in the last example is by bike. All right. So let's try doing some practice on our own. Everybody turn to the next page. So let's do the examples. So 그림을 보고 알맞는 말을 써 보십시오. Okay, so first one, let's just see the picture. So we see a house and then the distance is 30분, which is 30 minutes. And then we see, I think this is a school. So the girl asks, 얼마나 걸려요? 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take? And then the other friend responds, 30분 blank 걸려요. So this is an estimate. So she's responding with, it takes about 30 minutes. So how do you say about? In our previous slide, we learned that the word 쯤 means about, so all we have to do is add the word 쯤. 30분쯤 걸려요. It takes about 30 minutes. So let's go over number 2. 지하철로 20분 blank. So we see the house and then the distance is 20분 and then what is this place? 영화관. Okay, the movie. So it takes 20 minutes from your house to the movies. So 지하철로, 지하철. We learned that 지하철 means subway. So 지하철로, with riding the subway, it takes 20 minutes. So 20분 쯤 걸려요 is how we would end the sentence. So 지하철로 20분쯤 걸려요. And then number 3, we see the house. We see the duration is 1시간, which is 1 hour. And then the final destination is the library, 도서관. So the boys would say 도서관 blank 1시간쯤 걸려요. Now, the destination is from your house to the library. So 집에서 도서관까지. But the question or the form of sentence we're trying to answer starts with 도서관. So it would be to the library, it would take about 1 hour. So how do we write to? How do we write to? Remember, there's 에서 and 까지. 에서 is from, 까지 is to. So we would answer this by saying 도서관까지 1시간쯤 걸려요. So the missing text here would be 까지. Okay? 도서관까지 1시간쯤 걸려요. Okay, number 4. We see a picture of the house, and then we see a picture of the zoo. Okay, so 동물원 is the zoo. Now, I don't think 동물원 was part of the vocabulary for forms of transportation. So, okay, so for today's week, so for this week's lesson, I want all of you guys in your blue folders that you received. This is the teacher's edition, but yours just should be blank. In this folder, there were some materials that we gave you along with this book and a blue book. But everybody, I want you to open your folders. For those of you who have it, for those of you who don't have it, I'll tell you what to do. But if you have it, mine is over here. So there should be these kind of papers. They kind of look like this, and there's 2 of them. So you either got this one or this one. They're like little notepad stickers. And I want you guys to use this and then write, just for today's lesson, I want you guys to write the different vocabulary words in each box. So I want you to write neatly in Korean, okay? You can stick them on a piece of colored paper or anywhere in your textbook where you have room, but there barely is any room in here. So I advise you to get like a piece of like colored construction paper or any type of paper that you can look back to and then write the vocabulary words. So for example, you would write 식당, 영화관, 은행, 도서관, 소방서, 우체국, 박물관, 정거장, and then lastly you would write 동물원. 동물원, the word is right here on this page. I want you to write all the vocabulary words and stick them somewhere, okay? So these are stickers. So if you peel them, they come off. You can stick them anywhere. You can even stick them on the back of the folder. There's a lot of room here. Yeah, so if you don't have it, just make sure to copy these vocabulary words on like in a notebook or somewhere you can always look back to. So you always remember it. Also, don't forget that in your folder comes this little folder thing, and in here is your award chart with stickers. Always give yourself a sticker when you get a test, the listening test portion 100% correct, or any sort of worksheet that I make you guys do on your own. So I want you guys to do that. And let's move along. So where were we? We were on the last question. Okay, so we're starting at the house, and we're going to the 동물원, which is the zoo, and it takes 1 hour and 30 minutes. So 1시간 30분. So the girl asks, 동물원까지 얼마나 걸려요? So 동물원까지. So to the zoo, how long does it take? And then the boy responds by saying 자동차. So it's a form of transportation. So we're using the car to get to the zoo. Okay? So the word we add after the form of transportation was 로. So 자동차로. And then they give you the time. 1시간 30분쯤 걸려요. It takes about 1 hour and a half. So 자동차로 1시간 30분쯤 걸려요. Okay? If you didn't finish writing these, you can pause the video and finish. If not, let's move on. Okay, so let's read the first example. So it says 그림을 보고 대답해 보십시오. So look at the picture and respond. Number 1. 서울에서 동경까지 얼마나 걸려요? Now this question is the form of 에서 and 까지. So 에서, where are we starting from? We're starting from 서울. 까지, we're going to 동경. Okay? So from 서울 to 동경, how long does it take? Now, we had to answer in form of how long it takes, the form of transportation. They show you a picture of a girl on the plane. So what's plane in Korean? We learned this last week. It is 비행기. So we're using the plane to go from Seoul to 동경 in 2 hours. So 비행기로 동경까지 2시간쯤 걸려요. Now let's try that again. We first start with the form of transportation. So 비행기로, and then where are we going? 동경까지. 동경까지, and then the time. About 2 hours. 2시간쯤 걸려요. Okay? Now, we're not writing this down. We're just practicing how to say it. So if somebody asks you, how long does it take you to get to your school from your house? And let's say it takes you 10 minutes by car. You would say 학교까지 10분쯤 걸려요. Okay, so these are some real world examples that you guys, there will be a time where you probably should use this when somebody asks you a question like this. And it's a perfect way to answer back in Korean instead of saying, oh, 10 minutes, just like that, okay? So you're gonna say, oh, to get to school, it takes about 10 minutes by car. So you're gonna wanna answer back in Korean in full sentences. That makes you sound polite and just smarter, and it's just good for you to know, okay? So that was the first example. Let's do the second example. 서울에서 경주까지 얼마나 걸려요? So 서울에서, we're starting at 서울, and then 경주까지 얼마나 걸려요? So from Seoul to Gyeongju, if we're riding the train, how long does it take? So 기차, train in Korean is 기차. We learned this last week. If you wrote the vocabulary word somewhere last week, take it out, or you can always look back in your workbook. Let me find what page it was. It was on page 97. So if you look on page 97, we see the different forms of transportation. There's 자전거, 자동차, 택시, 버스, 지하철, 기차, 배, 비행기. Okay? And then today we learned different locations, so make sure to write the vocabulary words on the sticker page I showed you before. So 기차. So 기차로, because we're using the train, 기차로, where are we going? 경주까지 5시간쯤 걸려요. So we first say the transportation, and then to where, and estimating the time. So let's try that again. 기차로, that's number 1. 기차로 경주까지 5시간쯤 걸려요. So 3 steps. 기차로 경주까지 5시간쯤 걸려요. Okay, let's do number 3. 집까지 걸어서 얼마나 걸려요? 집까지 걸어서 얼마나 걸려요? So we're starting at the school and then 까지 we're ending at home. 집까지 걸어서 얼마나 걸려요? So 걸어서, this time we're walking. Remember when you're saying you're walking, we don't add the word 로, we just say 걸어서. Okay, so 걸어서 집까지. So how you're getting there, where you're going, and then the time it takes. So 걸어서 집까지, and then it says 15 minutes. 15분쯤 걸려요. That would be the complete answer. No. 걸어서 집까지 15분쯤 걸려요. Okay? Let's do number 4. 학교에서 박물관까지 지하철로 얼마나 걸려요? Now this is from a question that we are using 에서 and 까지. So 학교에서 박물관까지 지하철로 얼마나 걸려요? We're using the 지하철. 지하철 is the subway. So we answer in form of transportation first. So 지하철로 박물관까지 40분쯤 걸려요. 40분쯤 걸려요. So we're getting there by the subway and we're going to the 박물관. So 지하철로 박물관까지 40분쯤 걸려요. Okay, let's try doing number 5. 택시로 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take by taxi? Now this one's a little different. So it says 아침 30분 and then 오후 10분. So 아침, in the morning it takes 30 minutes. And then in the afternoon it takes about 10 minutes. So it's not saying where you're going or where you're going from, but it just says 택시로 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take by taxi? So 아침에는 30분쯤 걸려요. Or you could say 오후에는 10분쯤 걸려요. Okay? Okay. Let's go on to the next question. 어디에 있어요? 어떻게 가요? 얼마나 걸려요? 그림을 보고 친구와 이야기해 보십시다. Okay, so it's saying 어디에 있어요? Where are you? 어떻게 가요? How are you going? And 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take? Okay? So the boy asks, 학교는 어디에 있어요? And the girl says, 집 오른쪽에 있어요. 오른쪽 means right. So 집 오른쪽에, to the right of the house, is where the school is. Okay? The school is on the right side of the house. Okay? And then the boy says, 집에서 학교까지 어떻게 가요? 집에서, from your house, 학교까지, to your school. How do you go? 어떻게 가요? And the girl says, 걸어서 가요. I go by walking. 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take? 5분쯤 걸려요. Takes about 5 minutes. Okay, and then now we have our annual tests. So listen carefully to what I say and draw a line to match the scenario to the correct picture. So I'm gonna read you something and you're gonna listen to it and then you're gonna match it. Okay, I'll read everything. I repeat myself twice, so make sure to pay attention. So the first one. 영화관까지 얼마나 걸려요? 지하철로 30분쯤 걸려요. Let me read it again. 영화관까지 얼마나 걸려요? 지하철로 30분쯤 걸려요. Number 2. 어디에 가요? 우체국에 가요. 우체국까지 얼마나 걸려요? 10분쯤 걸려요. Okay, I'm gonna read it again. 어디에 가요? 우체국에 가요. 우체국까지 얼마나 걸려요? 10분쯤 걸려요. Number 3. 집에서 학교까지 멀어요? 아니요, 가까워요. 얼마나 걸려요? 걸어서 5분쯤 걸려요. Again. 집에서 학교까지 멀어요? 아니요, 가까워요. 얼마나 걸려요? 걸어서 5분쯤 걸려요. Last one. 소방서가 어디에 있어요? 오른쪽으로 20분쯤 걸어가세요. 그렇게 멀어요? 버스로는 얼마나 걸려요? 버스로는 5분쯤 걸려요. Again. 소방서가 어디에 있어요? 오른쪽으로 20분쯤 걸어서 가요. 그렇게 멀어요? 버스로는 얼마나 걸려요? 버스로는 5분쯤 걸려요. Okay. Now if you finished and matched each number to the correct picture, I want you guys to check your answers. So the first one, second one, third one, fourth one. These are the correct answers. And if you got everything right, make sure to give yourself a sticker. So in here, you should have stickers and the award chart. And this is only if you got all of them right, okay? Award chart, stickers. So I'm gonna give myself a sticker because I don't have any and I made this PowerPoint, so I think I deserve a sticker. So give myself a sticker. Yay! All right, so good job if you got everything right. If not, make sure to correct it with the answers on the screen. Okay, let's move on. So to the next page. 스무고개 게임을 합시다. So let's do a little game. So in your workbook, it's not covered, but I want you to close your workbooks for now because I covered it. We're going to find out what this person is where this person is talking about. So let's read the dialogue. 집에서 가까워요? It's kind of like a guessing game. So is it close to your house? And the girl says, 네, 가까워요. Yeah, it's close. 얼마나 걸려요? How long does it take? 10분쯤 걸려요. Takes about 10 minutes. So it's saying, is it close to your house? And she's like, yeah, it's close. And then how long does it take? It takes about 10 minutes. So let's look for a location that is close to her house and 10 minutes away. So we see there's a school, but it says 5 minutes. And then we see a restaurant, 식당, which is 10 minutes away. And then the next closest place is, where is this? The 우체국? I think it's the 우체국. I could be wrong. Where is that? I can't really see the picture. It's a little bit blurry. Oh, it is a 우체국. Okay, good. And the girl says, 그러면 blank? And then the other girl says, 네, 맞아요. So where is this place that is close to her house and 10 minutes away? So I think it is this place right here. It's the only place that's 10 minutes away from home. And it is the 식당. So 그러면 식당이에요? Yep. 그러면 식당이에요? And then she's like, 네, 맞아요. So the place that they were talking about was the restaurant. Okay, and I want you guys to skip the last 2 pages just because it's a little too hard and we're kind of running out of time. So that would be it for this week. The end. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys learned a lot today, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.